everyone, it's me again, VA Jessie, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. To those who are new here, my name is VA Jessie, and I provide work from home tips, sales and phone skills improvement, and anything related to virtual assistants. So if you are new in my channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you would always be updated whenever I release a new video. If you are new in my channel, let me introduce myself. I'm VA Jessie, and I am a co-owner of a virtual assistant staffing agency, Telecrew Outsourcing. We're a locally based company here in the Philippines that provide cold callers and salespeople to different clients around the world. And I have thought of creating this video to give some advice or to provide a bit of information towards getting started in freelancing. I'd like to discuss 5 things that you have to consider before getting started. So basically, if you don't have these 5 things yet, I highly recommend to not get started in freelancing because you might end up just coming back to where you were before. So I suggest that you finish until the end so you can learn, especially if you are a newbie, on how to get started, what does it take to become a virtual assistant or freelancer, and what kind of things you have to consider before diving in. The first thing that you have to consider is you have to ensure that you have the right preparation. Okay, freelancing, from the word itself, this is project-based. So basically, you wouldn't have any employer anymore that's going to provide you a consistent work. Unlike if you are working in an office, you're going to go there and do your thing from 8 to 5 and go home after work. This is quite different. You would be your own company. You are going to market your own service, which is your freelancing or virtual assistant services, right? You have to prepare because freelancing job would take a bit of a few weeks or a few months sometimes before you can actually land a client, right? So it depends. It's a combination of hard work and luck, to be honest, but you have to ensure that you are prepared enough for whatever is going to happen in the next few weeks or months so that it wouldn't hurt you at all, right? So one of the preparations that you have to do is to be prepared financially. And you cannot quit on your job right away without either ensuring that you already have a freelancing job afterwards, or without ensuring that you have enough money to support you while you're looking for a freelancing job or while you're getting the hang of it. Okay, because like I said, it's going to be a few weeks, sometimes it's a few months for others, it depends really. But even if you're still looking for a job, your bills wouldn't stop coming, so you have to be prepared for that. Okay, I couldn't blame those people that are trying part-time jobs first before really jumping into freelancing, and that's okay, right? Because they want to ensure that this is really something that would be a good fit for them as a person, as an individual. Another preparation that you have to have is to prepare for the work from home setup that you need. You have to have the computer, the internet connection, the peripherals that are needed to get started. Without that, you really can provide value to your client. You can't say to your client that I would like to apply, but I'm still going to buy my computer. Once you dive in, you have to have the right setup so that client can trust you, that even if you're working remotely, that the job will be consistent. Another preparation that you have to have is the right mindset as an individual. Freelancing is not very easy, and if you don't have the right mindset, if you're very negative, I don't think you'll last, right? When I got started, I had to apply, or I had to send job applications to different job postings, and it didn't matter to me even if I got rejected a few times. What matters to me is that I'm already here and I'm starting, and how I'm gonna move forward and get that job. I want to make it happen. That's my mindset. I mean, I have this specific goal to land a job as a virtual assistant, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to get that. So you have to prepare yourself with the right mindset in order to be successful as a virtual assistant. Second thing that you have to consider is that you have to practice independence. If you want to become a virtual assistant, please take note that this is not like that of a typical office job wherein you have a supervisor and they're going to help you with the things that you gotta do. It's quite different actually, because you are going to be your own team leader, you're going to be your own technical support, you're going to be your own sales coach. Sometimes you're going to do things on your own, and you're going to have the initiative even without supervision. So that's why I want you to consider and ask yourself, am I ready for that? Am I a person who can work independently? Right? Am I going to have the initiative to resolve a certain issue and not rely on someone to resolve it for me? Do I have the kind of personality that can do this? If you are not ready for that, and if you feel that you have to have a supervision every time, perhaps virtual assistance is not for you. Freelancing is not for you. The third thing that you have to consider is paying attention. Paying attention to emails, identifying which one is urgent, which one is important. If you are a virtual assistant, sometimes you are required to respond to certain requests on a timely manner, right? If you are a person who can take that, who is super laid back, and you don't want to be someone that's catering to clients on a timely manner, I think that freelancing or virtual assistance is not for you, because you have to put yourself in a situation that would enable you to respond to them, to the clients, and to the request on a timely manner. Sometimes I reply to them within the day if I can, instantaneously if I'm working. So you have to prepare yourself for that as well, right? Prepare yourself that you have to make sure that you have the right tools to remind you of meetings. You have the right phone apps, computer apps to get you reminded on some messages, and you have to have the right personality traits to be able to fulfill your duties as a virtual assistant in order not to have delayed communications to your client. You don't want them to feel that you're leaving them high and dry. The fourth thing that you have to consider before you get started is humility. You have to be humble enough in a way that you can't really brag about. I mean, you have the right to brag about the things they have accomplished before freelancing. Okay, but you can come out here and apply as a virtual assistant and ask for $20 an hour because you feel like, I have been in the BPO industry or call center for 10 years, so you're going to pay me $20 an hour because I think that's my value. I get that, okay? But be humble enough to accept the fact that sometimes not all of your experience before you become a virtual assistant would be counted. Why? Because work from home setup and working in a corporate are totally different. You have to have different work ethics, you have to have different process, many other things. That is why if you will apply to a client with no experience as a virtual assistant, even if you have tons of experience before, they would see you as a newbie in this field and not as an expert, because it's a totally different game. It's a totally different spectrum. So you have to be humble enough to accept the fact that you have to start from the beginning. You have to start from scratch, okay? And you can't demand for an expert's rate right away because that's what you want and because that's what you feel you're valued. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can demand for a certain rate as a freelancer, right? However, you have to be able to justify that rate, not because you just want it. Be humble enough to accept that you have to start from scratch in a way, like not just with the rate, but also in learning things and being resourceful in finding out how things work, learning about certain niche. If you feel that you cannot do that, if you feel like you're a person who thinks that your client would adjust to you, then I suggest maybe freelancing or virtual assistance. It's really not for you too. The last thing that you have to consider before getting started is to toughen up. What do I mean by that? You have to have the type of personality that's not too sensitive in a way, because you will be dealing with people having different personalities, like people that are in a different country with different culture, and sometimes they would relay things bluntly and relate things without sugarcoating. And you have to toughen up in a way that you wouldn't take it personally. It's all about business. It's a business decision. If you are someone who's hired by a client and after a few months you think that you're doing your best, and all of a sudden they started to end the contract, don't feel too bad and don't take it personally. It's just a business decision, right? Again, you are dealing with not team leaders, not site managers, not what I call as program managers, but CEOs and owners of businesses in a different country most of the time. Okay, so you have to accept that they wouldn't be sugarcoating things for you. If it's for the business, they would want to make sure that the message comes across clearly. There's a thin line between being rude and being straightforward, and you have to be able to identify that. If you feel that your client is not really being rude to you, but it's just being blunt or being straightforward about something, like when giving you feedback or when making a business decision, you have to toughen up and tell yourself that you can do this, accept it and move on, and accept the fact that freelancing is just really like that. Okay, so yeah, thank you guys. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching until the end. I hope that you picked a thing or two from the video that I created today. Again, you can subscribe to my channel, hit the subscribe button below and the notification bell so that you would always be updated whenever I release a new video. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. Without you guys, I wouldn't be here. I already have over 5,000 subscribers and I appreciate it so much. I started this channel in 2020 when we were on lockdown because of COVID. I didn't realize that my channel would grow this big, and so I appreciate you guys so much for subscribing and for supporting my channel. Thank you so much, and see you on my next video. Bye!